Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Arizona Coyotes franchise mode here in NHL 22. So in last episode, we basically won our third Stanley Cup in the last 5 years, and we also have been to 4 appearances in those last 5 years, which is actually insane. So this is probably my most successful franchise mode I've ever ran. You can see we've won a cup in 31-32 and 32-33. Then we didn't win all the way till this year in 35-36, but we did have an appearance in 33-34 as well. So we basically just made it to the cup finals every year except for 34-35 in the last 5 years. So pretty impressed with this team. A lot of good pieces on this roster, but some of them might end up retiring this offseason because we didn't actually get to the retirements yet. But like, for example, Austin Matthews probably retiring this year, I would assume, because he's dropping off. He's 38 as well. But who knows, maybe he'll come back for another season if he doesn't retire. Or maybe we'll just let him go, who knows. And then Rasmus Dahlin as well, he might end up retiring this offseason. We brought him in via trade, I think it was. Yeah, trade like last offseason. And he definitely helped us out in terms of winning a Stanley Cup. So we might lose him to retirement. But in general, our team still looks really good on paper. A lot of these guys are still signed up for a few years. The most notable offseason player that might be up for renewal is Calvin Shelley. Yeah, Calvin Shelley. I would like to get Shelley back at least for one more season because Hawks fan mentioned to me that he wanted him to at least reach 1,000 games with this team, which he's just under that. So if we could at least get him back for one more year, that would be great. But he is dropping down to like a third line scoring forward in terms of role, which is interesting. So he actually might be a perfect third liner, and then we could have Kagorodov as a second liner, and we could have Michkov as the first liner in terms of right wingers. Yoshimura could probably play on either wing on like the third line or the second line because Yoshimura is also getting a good amount of development. So team looks pretty good, and yeah, hopefully we can just keep this team as good together as possible and maybe win some more Stanley Cups because I think I'm probably just going to end up running this Arizona franchise mode right till the end of NHL 22, and then like the throwback franchise mode is going to replace basically my Houston series once that one ends. So anyways, let's get into this offseason and see if we could win, or not win more Stanley Cups yet, but let's see if we suffer any retirements first. And then we could see about keeping this team together, and we could maybe do some good stuff in terms of the draft and build up our prospect pool even more, even though it's already, I'd say, one of the best prospect pools in the league. Because if we go in the system, look at all these elite prospects. Like, a lot of these guys are eventually going to make an impact at some stage, but we've been just drafting really good in this franchise mode, and that's probably what's helped set us up for success in terms of winning Stanley Cups. So let's see if we suffer any retirements. See if we lose Matthews and Dahlin. I would say we would definitely lose Dahlin, but Matthews, I don't know, because sometimes he does play a little bit longer than 38. So LA's got the first overall pick. They went from 10-1. Minnesota goes from 8-2. Vancouver 1-3, and then Rangers 2-4, and San Jose 3-5. Interesting. So there you go on the draft class results. Who is going to retire this offseason? Who is going to retire? Yep, Austin Matthews does retire. Okay. Let's actually start by each position. So we do lose Austin Matthews, which, I mean, at least he goes out as a Stanley Cup champion with the Coyotes, which is pretty dope. He played only 2 seasons with us, both over point per game. And in the playoffs, he missed some time this season, but he was really good when he did play. Had a big goal in Game 7 against Florida, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, sucks to see him go. At least we got him a Stanley Cup. I don't think he won a Stanley Cup there with Toronto, if I'm not mistaken. So he might not have ever won a Stanley Cup up to the point he did with Arizona, which is interesting. But yeah, obviously a really good player. One of the best of all time. We'll see if he ends up becoming a coach or something. Doubt he will, but still, definitely the best center by far. He doubled Barrett Hayton in points pretty much, which is kind of crazy. Who else is a former player of ours? Interesting. He retires with the Boston Bruins. Actually played with them this season too, which is interesting because he's a 75. So best of luck to him in free agency retirement as well. Yegor Sharangovich, another former player of ours. He also retires. We had him only for a little bit. So that's interesting. He didn't win a Stanley Cup with us, but he does retire as well. So 3 former players, I guess you could say. Any other former players in terms of centers that retired this season? Doesn't look like it right now, unless I'm forgetting any of these players. Nope. Left wing wise, anybody? Anybody interesting on the left wing side? Doesn't look like it. This Lane Terry guy retired at 32. Interesting. Right wing wise, Mikko Rantanen retires. He's the best on the right wing side. We've definitely played him a lot in the playoffs before, so best of luck to him in retirement. Nobody else. Defensively, we did not lose Rasmus Dahlin. I don't know if we're going to bring him back or not, because he might ask for a decent amount, but he's not going to retire this year. But Quinn Hughes, Jacob Chikrin, our former player. Shout out to former captain Jake. Won 2 Stanley Cups with us before we decided to let him go. And then he ends up playing with Seattle. Plays pretty decently there. He plays 1 year also with the Rangers. But no more Stanley Cups after that. But still one of our best defensemen we've had in this franchise mode for sure. Obviously, his best season was like that 90-point season he had way back. Yeah. So, yeah, best of luck in retirement to Jake Chikrin, a Arizona Coyote legend for sure. Fox, Sergachev, some pretty big names in terms of defensive retirements, but no retirement to our one guy. And Noah Dobson also retires, another former player. He was with us for a few seasons. Don't remember if he was on the Cup winning team. I don't think so. Interesting. Scroll through that. Goalie-wise, any big goalie retirements? Mackenzie Blackwood and Jeremy Swayman. Okay. Also Ian Scott. But no former goalies of ours, which is not a surprise. So the only player we lose really is Austin Matthews. So at least that means we could still bring back Dahlin, but it really depends on his asking price. And we probably could find another defenseman for the same price in free agencies. So we might not bring him back. Who knows? Let's go to this draft and let's go to the resign stage. And then that'll be pretty much it for this episode. After that, probably we'll set it up for free agency for the next video. But let's get to this draft and see what we could snag up here for potential prospects. See if we could find anything good for the future of this team. Okay, so LA at number 1 is going to take Warner, who is a franchise 82 overall playmaker. Jackson Warner looks like a pretty good playmaker. Nice, really well rounded as well. Minnesota number 2 is going to take LeBeau, 80 overall power forward. No main zone ability, which is interesting, but still a power forward, which is really good. Vancouver at number 3 is going to take a 79 defenseman in Skewen. Looks pretty good, two-way defenseman. Wait, quick pick is his zone ability? That's interesting. I don't think I've seen much defenders with quick pick as his zone ability. I've seen him with offensive players, like two-way forwards, but not two-way defensemen. So that's interesting. LA, or not LA, why am I saying? Rangers, Trojanovic, two-way forward with no X factors. I feel like this draft class is a little bit weaker than ones we've seen before. And San Jose at 5 is going to take an 81 power forward, so that's a pretty good one. Also doesn't have a zone ability. So not a lot of zone abilities in this top 5. Interesting. Let's sim to our pick at number 32. See what we can snag up here with this last pick of this first round. Oh yeah, we pinned this low league guy. 3 years out. Yeah, we're definitely going to take him, I'd say. Give ourselves more elite prospects in. Because none of these other guys are going to be that good. So, Laurent Devereaux, who does have guaranteed wheels and shock and awe. He's a small little dude. Welcome aboard to the Arizona Coyotes. Let's see how good of an overall he was. That's the only thing about winning the Stanley Cup is I hate being the last pick in the draft and then it auto switches to the next round so I can't see my players. He is a 66 playmaker. That's pretty damn good. That is pretty damn good. He might end up being a really good player at some stage if he gets some really good development. But 66 out of the gate, I definitely will take that. Definitely will help us out probably in a few years when we start losing some players potentially. Let's sim to our next pick. See what we could snag up in this second round. We did pin Byron Sauer, who looks decent actually. Yeah, you know what? We're going to take Byron Sauer. Why not? He looks like he could be a pretty solid player. It's not for sure guaranteed. His skating doesn't look the best, but weakness and character is the only thing I don't really like, but I still will draft him anyways. So Sauer, welcome aboard. See how good he is. See if he is also a low elite or not, because we got so much elite prospects. He's a low top 663. Not bad. Might pan out at some stage since he was a second rounder. Next pick in the 6th round, since we don't have a lot of picks left. We got 2 6-rounders, actually, back-to-back picks. Yeah, the rest of this draft class, we're probably not going to be able to add too much, but it is what it is. At least we got a low elite prospect, so might as well just go with a guaranteed bottom 6 at this stage. I don't know. These guys are like the exact same type of players, except for one has no weakness. So, Peyton Volpatti, welcome aboard. Since we have back-to-back, we could just waste it on these guys. Low elite, or not low elite, but the heck, low bottom 6, 57 grinder. So more of a physical bottom 6 kind of guy. And our final pick of the 6th round, I think maybe our final pick of the draft, unless we have a 7th rounder, which I don't know if we do. Hey, this guy's 4 years out. Huh. It's not bad. Means he might have a good overall. But I honestly don't know what else we could go with. Let me just sort by potential again, see if we could find a random steal here. 4 years, maybe 3 years, but I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt that guy's that good. And he might actually be that good. You know, we're just going to take a chance with the raffle. Bam. How good was he? Probably like a AHL starter, watch. Because that was just a random shot in the dark. Medium backup, okay. 55. Guess I'll take that. Maybe he becomes an AHL goalie, doubt it though. And our final pick, because we have the last pick of this entire draft as well. Apparently we do have a 7th rounder. Scouts are recommending us Reinprecht. Which since, what is it? That one Reinprecht played for the Arizona Coyotes. Why not take Miles? Like when Steven Reinprecht played for the Arizona Coyotes. So, Miles, welcome aboard. Let's see how good you are. I think he was a bottom 6, is it? Yeah, bottom 6. But there's our draft. Not a lot of prospects, but Devereaux is definitely going to be pretty solid, I'd say. Sauer might be decent, and the rest are kind of a crapshoot. But still, not a bad draft for the amount of picks we had, for sure. Now we got to get into this resign stage. And this is where it's going to be interesting to see how much cap space we got. We got to get our head coach back, so we actually might lose our head coach this offseason because we don't got a lot of budget. I don't know, we could afford him. Give him a little bit more money. Definitely got to bring him back after winning multiple Stanley Cups with us, I think. Or maybe only one Stanley Cup, I don't know. But welcome back, yep, you should accept that. And we also got a lot of scouts to bring back as well. Because we know how important scouts are. Because when I recorded my Houston episode, I had to try and get a lot of scouts back. Because we didn't have enough scouts. So it's important to keep a good scouting core. We have a really good scouting representation now. So with this organization, that's probably why we draft so well. Okay, that's good in terms of scouts. Let's see what we got for contracts. I don't remember who's up for renewal other than Shelley. We got 46 million in cap space. That's not too bad. Oh yeah, Fairchild's up for renewal as well, the guy we traded for. Let's just qualify these AHL kind of guys, because why not? Appleby, we'll sign them all up. They all just want two-way deals, so might as well sign them. And Spalling, what are you wanting? 2.7. That's a bit expensive. I might have to qualify him in. And Hordichuk, 2.95. That's not too bad. I might give them that. What about Korea? 2 years at 1450. I might be willing to give him a long-term deal after winning a Stanley Cup. Let's see if I could give him like a steal of a contract. 4 years at like 1.9. Because then at least we'd have him locked up for a good amount of term. And yeah, he was a solid goalie in those playoffs, so that's a cheap asking price for a goalie, I'd say. We'll wait on Hordichuk and Spalling from now, but let's go to the bottom of this list and release some AHL guys that aren't going to make it. So like Yagubov, for example. Lambert's going to make it probably. Some stage he's elite, so might as well sign him. We'll let go of Spencer. Fical, I'll sign as well. 69 and 20 is not too bad. And we'll also sign Delorier. And we'll also sign Velesly since he's a 70-something. We are going to try and get back some of these other AHL guys as well, because why not? Keep that AHL team as deep as possible. Ortmeyer's still kicking around in the AHL, which is kind of crazy, because he's been there a long time. Like over 10 years, I think, at this point. Silverberg still wants a two-way deal. We'll sign him as well. Try and just keep our depth as good as possible, you know. Baikov, two-way deal. We'll sign you. Vincent Delmont. It's not bad. Yeah, some of these contracts are actually relatively cheap. I might be willing to actually do some of these contracts, like, because 1.8 is not bad. 1.5 is fine. The question is these big guys. What is Fairchild asking for? Shelley first, though, because we need Shelley back at least on 1 year. So I'll try and get Shelley to 7.7 for 1. Shishkinov is expensive. Shishkinov's kind of worth the money, though. Maybe I'll do a 1 year deal as well for him. Just want to keep him around as long as possible. Let's do 1 year at 8.8. Penner's going to be asking for a good amount of money. Oh, that's not a terrible contract after how he's been playing. How was he last year again? Yeah, he's getting much better. Now he was in the playoffs is not bad either. That's not terrible. I might be okay with losing Rasmus Dahlin for sure, I think. But Fairchild, what do you want? That's not bad. That's not bad. I'll give you exactly what you're wanting. I need to keep him around to make this defensive core as strong as possible. And then we'll try and get Penner. 6 years at 5.4s. It's a lot of term to lock a guy up for after one good season, but I think that's a good contract. Let's try and knock it down a slight bit, like to 5.3. And then, yeah, I'm okay with losing Dahlin for now this offseason. We could probably find somebody better in free agency-wise. And I'm going to qualify Hordichuk and Spalling for now, but I might give them a contract at some point. And I'm going to have to re-sign Appleby if he wants a two-way deal. Let's see if all these guys accept. Hopefully we could afford all of them, because our team will be pretty damn good. And all our scouts are accepting as well, which is good. Got to keep this organization as strong as possible. And okay, Shelley rejected. Penner also rejected. Okay, that's not bad. Baikov rejected. Let's give him his max two-way deal, because why not? Get him to accept so we have at least some depth options. Those guys are still qualified. That's good. And Korea accepted that good contract. Nice. We definitely have the money to bring back all these guys almost, which is good. After losing Austin Matthews, our team is still really good in terms of roster space. Let's do 1 year at 7.9 for Shelley. Yeah, Shelley might end up retiring young too. Who knows? And in Penner, we'll give you exactly what you're asking for. That might be a bit of a bad contract at this stage. You guys might be like, why are you giving him that much? But I think he's worth it. Penner was really good. If he gets more ice time, maybe he'll even be better than that. And then we could bring back Rasmus Dahlin on a 1 year deal, but I'm going to wait on the other guys first before I make that decision. So I think, yep, Shelley and Penner are still rejecting. Come on, Shelley. I could do a 2 year deal. You know, I'm going to do a 2 year deal. Give him a little bit more than he wants as well. I need to keep Shelley around regardless. Let's do a 5 year deal then, and let's talk you to 5.65 there, Penner, because you need to stay with this club. Because we know how important those third line scoring type of guys are. Let's advance a day again. See if we get those guys in. Both of them rejecting again. God damn it, guys. Come on. You're coming off a Stanley Cup win, Shelley. You've also won 3 Stanley Cups with this organization. I ain't letting you go. You might want to go, but you ain't leaving this team. Not for nobody. And we'll give $6 million to Penner, which that's going to be a bad contract at some stage. I could just tell it already. But, I mean, I should be able to still move him out. And then, yeah, Dahlin might leave. We got both of them back. Okay, perfect. We got $15 million in cap space. These guys are going to probably require at least $2 million each. Yeah, those guys are probably going to require at least $2 million each. So that would knock us down to 11. So we can bring back Dahlin, but let me just make sure our roster is good otherwise, because we need to make sure we have some good free agents. So Geeky, Penner, Demo, Spalling. That's good. Agostino, Shishkinov, McIntyre. That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we're pretty good on forwards, except for maybe one depth forward. Defensively, 1, 2, 3. If we bring back Darlene, Burkhoff's still there, McGrath is still there, Hordachuk's still there. I don't know if we need Darlene. Yeah, I think I'm going to let go of Darlene for now, but we might bring him back in free agency. Actually, yeah, it does make us a lot weaker. Festerling's also out of the lineup that way. I feel like I should trade Hordachuk's rights. Because Hordachuk, was he playing with us last season, the playoffs? He did. But we're kind of running into a problem. Festerling's good depth defenseman, but he was terrible in the playoffs when he did play. And then Aiden McGrath has randomly jumped up. Yeah, I think we got to trade away the rights of Hordachuk here and use Festerling as depth. Yeah, because Hordachuk's listed as the top 6. So we got to trade away Hordachuk's rights, I think, still this offseason. Maybe next episode we'll do that because we're running out of time. Goalie-wise, we're fine. I still think we'll run Korea and Galiev. Donovan will still be in the AHL for now. I actually just go to unsigned guys for a second. See if there's anybody that needs to be signed. Our Lolites and Lynch and stuff like that, I don't think I could sign yet because they're not AHL eligible. So we'll wait on those guys, but do I bring Darlene back? I don't think so because McGrath is going to take his spot. So we're going to let go of Darlene for now, which might be a little bit weird. But we're going to do that for now just because of McGrath, who might be pushing him out. We're also going to trade away, probably, I'd say, next episode we'll probably trade away Hordachuk's rights, unless he's going to accept a contract. Okay, he did not accept, so I think we got to trade away his rights just to make our roster a little bit better. We could try and upgrade our defensive core with him in a trade, but our team in general should be pretty strong next season, and we have cap space to play with after losing Austin Matthews to retirement. So let's take a quick look at what's available free agent wise and the trading block wise, and then that'll be it for this episode. So if we want to bring in forwards, which we don't really need that help, we just probably need a depth forward, but I'll still scroll through these in case you guys want me to sign anybody in specific. Like if you guys see anybody really good, let me know. 25, 80 overall, that's not bad. Good defensive forward, good for the bottom 6. Yui's interesting, but 3.8. A little bit pricey for a bottom 6 type of player. Like I said, we are waiting on Spaulding also to resign. Left wing wise, what else we got? Some former players like Zadina. Interesting. Is that our former Varlamov? Yeah, it is. Damn. He's asking for 6.3. Mr. Lawrence as well. So there's players we could bring back. McGillis is back in free agency again after some time in Dallas. I'm pretty sure was where he was. But yeah, I don't think we need any forward help. It's just more about maybe like we could upgrade our defensive core more. Like we could bring in another good defenseman. And then basically we would use McGrath as depth or somebody else's depth. But we definitely need to trade away Hordachuk's rights, I'd say. Right wing wise, what do we got here? Uriel Galante, another former player. Interesting. What about defensively? Any good defenders out there? No. So Darlene's the best defenseman in free agency. And he does have interest from some team, but there's also Ackerstrom, but he wants 5 years. So yeah, there's not really any huge defensive upgrades free agency wise. That guy must be an RFA, right? Yeah. Let's go UFA only. Carson Lambo's back in there. We won a Stanley Cup with him. Dallas Guerrero's back in free agency. That's interesting. What about goalie-wise? Not that we need a goalie, but still, might as well take a look. Genoway. Cyrus Stone. Interesting. So some good goalie options, not a lot of good defensive options, though. Final thing, let's take a look at the trading block, and I think that'll be it for this episode at that stage. Just because we're already out at like 25 minutes, so anything out there on the trading block to help out our defensive core or something, because I don't know if we really need any help. We might just pick up some depth pieces in free agency. But Czak is out there, Robertson for defenseman. But like I said, if we trade for a defenseman, we'll have to definitely trade away Hordachuk's rights in that trade, and then we'll probably also have to throw in somebody else into that trade, just because like I think McGrath should be playing in the NHL this season since he's a low elite. But it's totally up to you guys on that front too. Anderson, this guy's an RFA, I believe. Yeah, this guy's probably an RFA that's trying to hold out for more money. Similar player, actually, I guess, directly to Hordachuk. Sider's there, Breland's there, but 2 years, and Purcell's there. But yeah, at least we brought back Fairchild. Fairchild's definitely going to help out our defensive core for another year. Lassie Thompson, Savonin, nothing there. A lot of prospects, nothing. Not really a lot on the block. Brandstrom, Nichushkin. Anything else? Some forwards. Hornquist for goalies. Jeez, he's an RFA, I guess. Landry's there as well. Anything else? Marco Rossi's there. Jamie Drysdale on 1 year. Doesn't fit our system that well, it looks like. Doesn't simulate like he would in real life, probably. Foodie, Valeno's there. Smith is there. This Evan Smith guy's kind of intriguing. Would be a good third line option, but we don't really need any good right wingers when we have Shelley probably playing third line this year. William Eklund on 2 years left. That's pretty damn good, but still. That would definitely upgrade our forward core a little bit if we brought in William Eklund, but just be like a replacement for Matthews. But does he match our system that well? But his contract is a bit expensive. I don't know if he would be the best fit, but I don't like his expensiveness because then we will end up losing somebody next offseason for sure. Adamski 1 year, not really a defensive upgrade though. Nothing at Vegas. Moran for goaltenders in Washington, and Winnipeg nothing really. I don't think this team really needs much pickups this offseason anyways. Like, we could upgrade our defense score and bring back Darlene. But let's look at our roster again right now. We got Geeky, Penner, Dalmo, and then in the systemized, Spalling is still qualified. So technically we got our 4 centers. At least. Maybe Appleby even plays one of the spots, I don't know. Then we got Agostino, Shishkinov, McIntyre. And in terms of left wingers, and right wing wise, we got Michkov, Kagurota, Shelley, Yoshimura, and Utstorf. So technically, we got 5, 8, and 12, with the addition of Spalling down there. And then in terms of defense, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then technically Hordachuk. So we could always just keep our defensive core the same, and then trade away Hordachuk's rights, or actually wait. Yeah, what we could do is not pick up any defenseman. We could run Hordachuk as a defenseman, and then Festerling's depth, and then McGrath still gets his way into the lineup. But then our team will just need probably another defensive upgrade at the trade deadline or something like that, like we've been doing for last 2 Stanley Cups, like bringing in Lambos, for example, Darlene, bringing in Fairchild, that type of thing. So we could still upgrade our defensive core at the trade deadline and just leave our roster the rest of the way it is. And goalie-wise, it's fine, I think, just running Korea and Galiev. Korea signed for a 4-year deal at 1.9, which I think is a good contract for him. Galiev is going to be relatively cheap if we want to lock him up 4 years as well. Yeah, I think our team doesn't really need that much. We just maybe need to wait on our RFAs and then maybe pick up like a depth forward or 2. And then that's pretty much all we really need. So that is that, and I think that's going to do it. Let me just make sure. Yeah, that's going to do it, guys, for this Arizona Coyotes franchise mode episode. So in next episode, we'll have free agency. We'll send ourselves some depth pieces. We might make a trade if you guys want to get rid of Hordachuk's rights and try and bring in a better defenseman to replace him. But it's really up to you guys on that front. And yeah, hopefully our team has another good season ahead, because if we can win another Stanley Cup, that would be really awesome. We've won 3 in the last 5. Maybe we could go for 4 and 6. So you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.